Hello, readers. Welcome back to my channel. I am Divya and I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video. So, in my previous video, someone commented that whether I can recommend some psychological thrillers or not. And I was like, obviously.
That's what I do. It's what I live for.
So in today's video, I'm going to recommend 5 psychological thrillers that I think you are going to enjoy. Number 5 on the list is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. Now this is about a woman named Anna Fox who is suffering from an anxiety disorder that is known as agoraphobia. Now agoraphobia is this intense fear of not being able to leave the house or being unable to be in crowded places. So basically our main character is almost stuck in a house, and it's been 10 months since she had ever stepped out her house. So she is basically left alone in her home, and because of a traumatic incident, she is suffering from this agoraphobia. The only thing that helps her take her mind off things is watching other people, watching her neighbors basically. So from her apartment window, she looks outside and watches what other people are doing, basically through a camera. Okay, she zooms up on her neighbor's window and she watches what is going on in their day-to-day lives. But one day, while she was doing this, she witnesses something extremely horrifying, and that is, she witnesses a lady being killed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she witnesses a lady being killed. But when she informs the police about this, they ring her up and say that, madam, are you quite okay? Because whatever description you gave of the woman, no one of the description lives in that apartment room or apartment window which you pointed out. So now Anna is out losing her mind. She's like, I definitely witnessed it. I'm not going insane. What is happening? And now she must unveil all the truths that is behind that murder, and she must also protect herself because something horrifying is also actually starting to happen in her own house. So that was the premise of The Woman in the Window, and let me tell you, it is quite twisted and unsettling, and I enjoyed it very much. I read it pretty much in one sitting. Also, it has unreliable narrator. So if you are someone like me who really likes unreliable narrators, someone who is almost on the verge of insanity, then I think you will pretty much enjoy it. I kind of guessed who the killer was, but still reading the entire thing was another experience and I loved it. I also believe that there is a movie, I think movie adaptation of this book, so you can also watch the movie. As for me, I don't really watch movie adaptations or drama adaptations of any book that I have read, that I have already read, because I don't know, because they change basically they change the facts, and they change a lot of stuff from the book. So in the long run, I may get confused and forget what actually happened in the book if I watch the movie. So I tend to not watch movie adaptations or drama adaptations. Generally, if I have ever watched adaptations of any books, it is before I have read those books. Okay, I like Harry Potter. I have watched the movies before reading the books. I highly recommend The Woman in the Window. It is quite a thrilling read, and I think you are going to enjoy the psychological factor in this a lot. Fourth on the list is The Good Son by Yu Jeon. Now, this is about Eugene, who is quite a good son, a good student. He's also good in sports. Like, he's basically overall a very good character. Okay, but there is something about him that he does not understand. Um, he has to take medications according to his mother. He has seizures in which he kind of loses his memory, and he has to take these medications, and if he does not take these medications on time, there are very strict rules that his mother has set for him if he ever forgets to take medication on time. But he kind of feels that these medications are kind of hindering his emotional growth, and he does not even know himself properly. So one day he decides not to take these medications. But then one day he wakes up covered in blood in his own house. He is covered in blood, and he notices that there is another body there in the house with him, and the body belongs to his own mother. Someone, or maybe he himself, killed his mother. So that after that ensues a total psychotic tale of coming of age of a psychopath, and I think it is brilliantly written. This was one of my first ever psychological thrillers that involved a psychopath in it, and I loved it. I loved it. You know, those some kind of books that you read, and after that, you are constantly in search of a book that is similar to that book that you read, and the same feeling that you got from that book, you are on a hunt. It is same for me in this book, regarding this book, and I have not yet found that same kind of feeling in any other book I have yet read, and I read this years ago. So that, I think, pretty much tells you how much I love this book and how much I recommend it. It is really, really good. Creepy, unsettling, kind of psychotic. Everything is there in this, jam packed in this book. So, definitely recommended. Also, can we really appreciate the cover? I love this cover so much. I don't really like humans on the cover, but this one is like, this one is really, I love it. I really, really love it. Now, third on the list is The Whisper Man by Alex North. This is one of my favorite psychological thrillers, and this is about Tom and his son Jake, who move into this new town for a fresh start. The name of the town is Featherbank, but this town has a dark past. Some time back, there was a serial killer who used to kidnap and kill little boys. And before he kidnapped any of his victims, the victims used to hear whisperings outside their bedroom window. And when Tom and Jake ends up in this new village, they think everything is going to be fine. Tom is of the opinion that we are going to have a lovely life here, and I'm going to raise Jake properly, even though he does not have a mother. I'm not going to make him ever feel that he doesn't have a mother. So after they turn up in this village, soon a little boy goes missing. But then Jake also says that he is starting to hear whisperings at his own window. So that is the plot of The Whisper Man, and let me tell you, this one was utterly terrifying and utterly heartbreaking. The ending was definitely heartbreaking, and it kind of uh, tells you about how important it is to have a good relationship with your children. It is well plotted, well written, and it is a psychological story that is going to stay with you for a very long time, probably forever, because I think about this book a lot. And there is this little creepy poetry in this. The poetry goes, "If you leave a door half open, soon you will hear the whispers spoken. If you play outside alone, soon you won't be going home. If your window's left unlatched, you will hear him tapping at the glass. If you're lonely, sad, and blue, the whisper man will come for you. And I think that should be enough convincing for you to pick up this book. Trust me, you're going to love it. And it's also going to kind of traumatize you. But that is a part of reading psychological thrillers, right? Second on the list is Five Survive by Holly Jackson. Now, you must have heard the name of Holly Jackson before. She is the author of the famous Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is a sensation. It is there on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere you will see the Good Girl's Guide to Murder is recommended. It is a YA thriller, but I am not here to recommend you the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm going to recommend you Five Survive by Holly Jackson. I think this is talked about very less, but this is also quite a brilliant psychological thriller written by Holly Jackson. And this is about six friends who are out there going on a picnic in a RV. But in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of kind of a forest area, their RV breaks down. Now they think that it is some kind of accident. Yeah, accidentally their RV is not working, but that is purely not the case. A sniper is stationed somewhere near their RV and they cannot see him. They cannot see the sniper, but he is aiming to kill, and he has given them some time to work out who the sniper wants, and that kind of creates a panic between the friends, and like they must find out who the target is before the sniper decides to kill all of them. Entire book happens in one single day, in a few hours, which I really liked. It makes the book even more fast paced than any other book, and it has this time slabs chapter. You will see what is the timing, and that makes the book so much more fun. It is definitely a read it in one sitting kind of book, and I could not put it down honestly, because like the entire book happens in just a few hours. So it feels wrong to put it down in the middle. Okay. And the thing about Holly Jackson that I really like is she somehow manages to involve a emotional element in all of her thrillers, which is generally not so common in thrillers, because the readers can kind of detach themselves while reading thrillers. Emotionally, they are not that much involved, and you can overlook the emotional part of the thriller. But in case of Holly Jackson, you will not be able to do so. She definitely puts some emotional life in her characters, which I really love. If you want something really fast paced and fun, this is the book for you. It is also really good to read it on a trip, because it will add to the excitement, because the characters in this book are literally on a trip, and that is where things go bad. And if you read it on a trip, kind of the thrill will kind of catch up to you, and you will pretty much really enjoy this book. First book on this list is The Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, and this is about Camille, who is a journalist, and she has quite a troubled past, and she kind of have mommy issues, you can say. She has mommy issues, and she doesn't really talk to her mother anymore. She doesn't really visit her hometown anymore. But because of a murder case of two young girls, Camille has to return to her hometown to investigate these murders of these two young girls. But that leads to her uncovering her own traumatic past and her complex family relationships. This scary and unsettling tale of complex and toxic family relationships. This one is the only Gillian Flynn book I have ever read. The other book that is quite famous by this author is The Gone Girl. I have not read it, but this book is not that talked about, but I really, really loved it. Quite shocking and sinister, and it is a psychological drama that is quite gripping. I remember how shocked I was while reading this book, and the twist kind of took me off balance because I was not expecting that twist at that time when I read it a few years ago. I really recommend this book, and I think you are going to quite enjoy and also be traumatized. All of this, I just realized all of these books are kind of going to traumatize you. So please read all the trigger warnings before starting any of the books I listed. And this one also has a movie adaptation again, so you can watch it. Yeah. Also about the cover, I do like this cover, even though again I do not like humans on the cover, but this one is just so unsettling and it matches the vibe of the book perfectly. It is kind of like artistic. Uh, so I really like this cover also. That, my dear readers, brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked the recommendations, and let me know if you are going to add these to your TBR. And if you have a recommendation for me, a psychological thriller that you want me to read, definitely name them down in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. I love you guys, and I'm going to see you in another video soon. Bye bye.